You can never have too much beige. Oh, Martha, you're so wise.
Oh, hi, I'm Stella, and welcome to 30 Books. Before we get into the reviews, quick bit of audio description. I'm sitting in a light-filled lounge room. Behind me is a lampshade, flowers and patented lampshade. Also on the wall behind me is a gold and green painting, and the green is bamboo. There's a black vase behind me. There's a pot plant, big green leaves. There's a purple chair with a really cute cushion and of peach and green squares, and a print on the wall behind me of a ship, and it's very 1920s, but it's 1980s does 1920s. I am wearing a dressing gown with a peacock on it and a white top, my big blue glasses, my red lipstick, and a pink and red ring. I have 2 books for you today. We are talking Spinsters and Widows. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video to find out what both writers get for their percentage of royalties from their book sales. The first book I have for you is She I Dare Not Name by Donna Ward, which is a Spinsters Meditations on Life. So essentially, this is the answer to a question. What is it like to be a single woman, a spinster, in a world made for couples and families? So this book is broken up into series of essays. It's not a straight narrative, though weaved through it. She does weave her early life and through it, and sort of touches on some of the relationships that she's had. She has been engaged. As she said, she came close but was returned to the dock due to technical difficulties. Also woven through the book is Greek mythology. It's not something I know a lot about, but I absolutely loved that aspect of it. Meditations. What this book isn't, though, it's not a how-to. It's not a how to be successfully single, which she also talks about in some of these chapters about when there have been, and there are very few books and very few television shows about single women. You know, you've got your Sex in the City and your Bridget Jones, a book I personally love, but there's an inevitability around them becoming part of a couple and having family. So Donna Ward, this is her story, and it's very intimate at times and a couple of times confronting, but it really is about that loneliness and the solitude of a person alone, and no one really fully understanding what that solitude and aloneness is, and also without coming to it with a sense of judgment. I wish I had had this book in my mid to late 30s. I think I devoured this book. If ever I wanted to hug a book, this is it. I adored it so much. It's so luxurious and something so delicious about it, and she is such a fantastic writer. So I really it really resonated with me. I felt a lot of the things that she had felt about your life being unpeopled, and especially when it comes to during that time when you see all your friends having children, you know, around your mid to and you're heading toward your 40s, and will that opportunity come? And then you also feel that sense of judgment, and you know, and people saying, oh, you know, you should enjoy your loneliness or enjoy your solitude, but unless you're faced with that and dare say that name of spinsterhood, you don't know what it's like. This is not to say it's a book of doom and gloom, because it's certainly not. Donna Ward is very funny and has a beautiful turn of phrase. It is such an intelligent book. I adored it. And thank you for Jeffrey's Bookstore for insisting that I buy it, because I was. And now we move on to The Widows. A Widow, and this is A Dog Called Harry by Jill Baker. Now, Jill Baker was a journalist and an editor, and she was happily and delightfully married. And then her husband, George, died quite suddenly. And within quite a short time frame, she was also diagnosed with breast cancer. So what brought her back to life? A dog. Now, I thought this was quite interesting that it was a dog that brought her back to life, or gave her some, not just meaning, but hope and fun and laughter. Whereas when Donna Ward, people said to her, get a dog or a pet, she wrote, Aphrodite was not the first, nor will she be the last to suggest a dog can fill the absence of a human partner. As marvellous as dogs are, and as quickly as I would have one if I had a partner with whom to share the responsibility of pet shop ownership, I find this advice offensive. A pet is not a surrogate partner. A pet brings another kind of relationship entirely, and with that particular relationship comes another kind of conversation. A conversation akin to one about partnering. And I think that's what Jill Baker is saying, because she said that her dog, Harry, refers to her as a mum. So she very much takes it from that partnering. She's not looking for a surrogate husband as such. And she's also not talking about loneliness. And the difference between the widow and the spinster is that the widow, even though neither of these women asked to be a widow or a spinster, Jill had it, widowhood, thrust upon her very quickly and unexpectedly. So it's a trauma as such. So their writing and the way that they're approaching it is quite different. Donna Ward has had a lifetime of being alone. There were but she did have relationships. So hers is very much a meditation, and she's likening other stories, and she's got the Greek mythology coming in. Jill Baker, she is still, the trauma is quite fresh with her, so her approach is very different. And she's also a journalist, so her journalism writing comes in. It's very much the fact there. So two very different styles of writing, both incredible women in their own right. I think if you're a dog lover, I'm not particularly a dog lover, but I kind of get it. I get where she was coming from. I think she is a remarkable woman for all that she has gone through. Ditto a Donna Ward. So, Donna, I bought your book from Jeffrey's Bookstore for $29.99. And Jill, I also bought your book from Jeffrey's books for $32.99. So that equates roughly to about $3 each. Jill, you'll probably get $3.25. Now, what can you get for that? Well, there are some things that money just can't buy. And I have a sneaky suspicion the one thing that you probably might enjoy is to somebody to bring you a cup of tea. So if there's one thing that a partner, not always, one thing that somebody else in your life can do for you is make you a cup of tea. So here is your cup of tea. And what goes well with a cup of tea? How about a little... I broke the budget for this one. I spent $10 on a mini bottle of Black Label. Johnny Walker Black Label goes lovely with a cup of tea. I can highly recommend it. And that is your 30 books for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, and I'll see you next time.